Now, the protests in Los Angeles sparked by immigration raids continue for the third straight day. Security forces clashed with the protesters as National Guard troops deployed by President Donald Trump fanned out across the city. The U.S. military said 300 guardsmen from the 79th Infantry Brigade combat team had been sent to 3 separate locations in the greater Los Angeles area. Police and protesters confronted each other near a federal building where California National Guard troops are deployed. U.S. Northern Command confirmed 2,000 National Guard troops had started deploying and that some were already on the ground. Tear gas was fired at protesters in Los Angeles on Sunday when some demonstrators moved close to National Guard troops and shouted insults at them. The confrontation broke out as hundreds of people protested in front of the Metropolitan Detention Center in downtown Los Angeles, where several of the newly arrived National Guard troops stood shoulder to shoulder behind plastic riot shields. Video showed uniformed officers shooting off the smoke-filled canisters as they advanced into the street, forcing protesters to retreat. Minutes later, loud popping sounds erupted again as some protesters chanted, "Go home," in shame. Los Angeles police officers on horseback were deployed amid the protests as well. According to local media, demonstrators also made their way onto a major freeway and stopped traffic in both directions. Trump, who has made clamping down on illegal migration a key plank of his second term, vowed the troops would ensure very strong law and order, while appearing to leave the door open to deploying soldiers in other cities.
Well, we're going to have troops everywhere. We're not going to let this happen to our country. We're not going to let our country be torn apart like it was under Biden.
Trump threatened action against demonstrators who spit on police or National Guard troops, saying they spit, we hit. He, however, did not cite any specific incidents.
We're going to be watching it very closely. And when they spit at people, you know, they spit. That's their new thing. They spit, and worse, you know what they throw at them, right? And when that happens, I have a little statement. They say, they spit, we hit. And I told them, nobody's going to spit on our police officers. Nobody's going to spit on our military.
Now, responding to a question about invoking the Insurrection Act, which would allow the military to be used as a domestic police force, Trump said, "We are looking at troops everywhere. We're not going to let this happen to our country." Meanwhile, Governor Gavin Newsom said the National Guard's deployment in California, the first over the head of state governors since the civil rights era, was purposefully inflammatory. He called for rescinding the order and returning the control to California, alleging that, and I'm quoting here, "We didn't have a problem until Trump got involved." The National Guard, that's a reserve military, is frequently used in natural disasters and occasionally in instances of civil unrest, but almost always with the consent of local authorities. Meanwhile, Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum also defended migrants living in the United States. She said 35 Mexicans were detained during the raids in Los Angeles. Several of the protesters in Los Angeles were also seen carrying Mexican flags.
Mexicans living in the United States are good men and women. They are honest men and women who went to the United States to seek a better life for themselves and to provide for their families. They are not criminals. They are good, honest men and women.